A former Pennsylvania State Police employer has submitted an official criminal complaint alleging that Governor Josh Shapiro was involved in the attempted assassination of Donald J. Trump. The complaint was submitted on February 7th, 2025. She claims to have submitted a tip about this all the way back in July of last year, but said that it was blocked by the Biden administration. If true, this will be one for the history books. All right. Oh, interesting. Let's see what the fuck this shit says. I didn't even look through this. Defendants Josh Shapiro, Christopher Paris. Oops. It's going slow here. The attached affidavit. Criminal affidavit. Asada Feinberg, federal whistleblower, hereby allege that defendant Joshua Shapiro, in his personal, individual, and official capacity, facilitated, organized, and carried out his plan to assassinate President Donald J. Trump on July 13th, 2024. Defendant Shapiro was unsuccessful in completing his mission, but is responsible for organizing and facilitating it, injuring the current president and causing the murder of Corey Comparatori. I always get his name wrong. Defendant Shapiro conspired and colluded with Pennsylvania officials, namely Pennsylvania State Police Commissioner Christopher Paris. I mean, this could explain a lot. A lot of the fucking obvious, like, oh, why didn't you have anybody on the roof? Oh, you're supposed to have snipers in this window that have eyesight of the roof, but yet what? I mean, I could explain that, but again, I can't confirm any of this. I've heard that this is a legit document, but I can't confirm that as well. Defendant Shapiro commenced the facilitation and coordination of the attempted assassination by utilizing Pennsylvania State Troops Commissioner Christopher Paris to conceal the crimes. Defendant Christopher Paris made false and inconsistent statements under the oath to the Senate Judiciary Committee around August 2024. He falsified statements to thwart and impede the criminal investigation and obscure the discovery of facts leading up to the attempted assassination in Butler. Defendants Josh Shapiro and Christopher Paris's actions were willful and not a security failure. Ooh, okay. As defendant Paris testified under oath to the Senate Judiciary Committee. On July 13, 2024, President Donald J. Trump was shot from the Pennsylvania... Okay, yeah, this is just gonna... Yeah, that's just basically generalizing what happened, which we all know. In the days leading up to the attempt... maybe I should read this. What the fuck? Why am I skipping it? I'm going to read it. Let's just go through it all. That boy Bent, $20. Thank you, that boy Bent. Jesus Christ, bro. Appreciate you. That boy Bent. Jesus. Bending out that $20. Thank you, man. President Donald J. Trump was shot from the Pennsylvania State Police perimeter at the Butler, Pennsylvania rally. This was not within the perimeter assigned to the United States Secret Service, and all statements relating to the Secret Service failure are false. In his sworn testimony, defendant Paris fabricated, distorted, and willfully blamed the United States Secret Service for security failures. That's a good one, because when I looked into this, I was like, it seems like they're both pointing fingers. So who's lying here? Distorted, willfully blamed the United States Secret Service for security failures and efforts to divert the criminal investigation and conceal the crimes. Both defendants, Christopher Paris and Josh Shapiro, are named on a RICO lawsuit at the Pennsylvania Commonwealth Court for their ongoing crimes of public corruption and fraud in the state of Pennsylvania against thousands of whistleblowers. On February 5th, 2025, at least five federal provided witness testimony to the state. That should be witnesses. Testimony to the state and federal crimes committed by defendant Shapiro. I mean, that's one little ding about this might not be real, because I mean, people do typos, but usually you would reread something like this and catch the typo, right? At least five federal provided witness testimony. I mean, yeah, they just wrote that sentence all fucking weird. To the state and federal crimes committed by the defendant Shapiro, spanning over 10 years. In the days leading up to the attempted assassination, Alex Soros made credible threats to assassinate President Donald J. Trump. There was some weird posts he made that were very cryptic, and they seemed to be fucking pointing to something there, but I don't know. He has never faced any criminal investigating, despite his valid threats. Defendant Josh Shapiro, a close confidant of Soros and recipient of large campaign donations, carried out the premeditated plan to thwart President Trump from being elected. Defendant Shapiro was actively engaged in laundering funds with Ukraine. Okay. The verified election of President Donald J. Trump would not expose Shapiro's federal laundering, but expose multiple officials from the Democratic Party who were laundering millions of taxpayer dollars. So, I mean, that does seem to be the fucking motive here, man. Behind all of the Trump pushback is like, he might blow up our fucking little con we're running here. Defendant Josh Shapiro invited Zelensky to meet with him in person in 2024, where he physically signed bombs in an unprecedented photo op with the Ukrainian president. That's kind of fucked, ain't it? In the weeks leading up to the Trump rally, President Joseph R. Biden made frequent visits to defendant Joshua Shapiro to discuss the obstacle faced by the Democrat Party. Joshua Shapiro organized, schemed, and conspired with other officials to carry out the attempted assassination against former President Donald J. Trump. Okay, again, this is a former Pennsylvania State Police employer who is being a whistleblower, right? Just so we understand where this is coming from. Allegedly. Defendant Josh Shapiro, Pennsylvania State Police Commissioner Christopher Parrish are guilty and liable of willful misconduct in their plans to facilitate and organize the attempted assassination must be investigated and charged. Defendant Shapiro is guilty of committing thousands of crimes, including but not that would not be surprising. Including but not limited to threatening, intimidating, stalking federal whistleblowers. Okay. Oh, okay. Let me keep reading this. And stalking federal whistleblowers, including this affiant and her children. Obstructing and tampering with the murder investigation of Ellen Greenberg, actively obstructing and facilitating election interference in Delaware County, obstructing justice and threatening Matthew and Carolyn Peterson, obstructing the murder investigation of 9-year-old Gerard Tutko, obstructing the murder. So yeah, this if this whistleblower is legit, Jesus Christ, dude, Jesus. And it would not surprise. I mean, this is probably, to me, would be the most logical explanation as to what went down there.